Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we had tracked down those damn dwarves over there in the Drown Holt, and had come back here to the Haunted Inn once more, traveled down to the cellar, and we were talking to Mr. Broyne here. Broyne has given us a thing. He says the elves cannot make up their mind which way they want to go on our route to Dol Guldur, so we are supposed to go and talk to the elves of the Hidden Guard, who are nearby. I'd imagine a little bit further into the cellar here, and help them make up their mind which way we're going to go. Let's see, right through here. Here we go. And we have got Arkador, who has promised that at some point he's going to kill Mazog with his bare hands. Well, sorry, not with his bare hands, but personally. Let's talk to him and see how things are going with him. All right. How are you feeling, Arkador? I am angry, as all of us should be. Already too many elves have died on this foolish errand, and one too few orcs, if you ask this elf's opinion. How many more of our party must perish before we abandon this foolish expedition? You believe our road lies through Eminlum? I do, and I cannot understand why these others, these friends, do not see why that is the best route for us to take. The sooner we reach the fortress, the sooner we may deliver Mazog to his allies and be done with this ridiculous mission. I am finished with roundabout ways. Let us fly straight as an arrow and be done.
Let us move directly eastward to Dol Guldur by the
We cannot wait here for revelation that may not come, Gnarlo. We will never know what road Raddir intended for us to take. No, we must decide, and decide quickly. The quick road will be the safest road. Let us move directly eastward to Dol Guldur by the straightest way. Raddir believed our greatest strength was in secrecy, but the dangerous path through the Drown Holt cost him his life. Let us be done with secret ways. The straightest course, like a swift arrow, is the one we should take if we wish to avoid a similar fate. All right, so that's Arkador's opinion. We will presume there are more elves about who have opinions as well. Yep, there's Sigilith. Let's see what my dear darling Sigilith has to say. How are you holding up? The death of Raddir has taken its toll and left us without direction, though not without purpose. We know where we must go. We simply do not know how to get there. But we will decide, and then we will have action again, and an end to this idleness. You wish to travel through Tar Morvith? Tar Morvith is the route our company should take to Dol Guldur. Eminlum is clearly too obvious a road, and the Scuttledales have a foul reputation. Orcs there may be within Tar Morvith, but I have dealt with orcs before, as have the other members of our company. I do not fear orcs.
We should head south through the stony reaches of Tower
Raddir
Morvi.
brought us into the Drown Holt, despite the danger, for a reason, Gnarlo. He must have planned for us to take the southernmost way toward Dol Guldur, and to bring us in secret up the southern base of the rocky spire upon which the fortress stands. We should therefore head south through the stony reaches of Tar Morvith. That is the way Raddir wanted us to go. I am sure of it. The other members of the company may disagree, but we must at least set out, or his death will have been for naught. Okay. One wants to go straight, one wants the south road, and let me guess, is Suriel here? You're wanting to take the north road, correct? How are you feeling? I feel very tired. No, not physically tired. My heart feels heavy, and I miss Raddir. You wish to enter the Scuttledales? Do not say I wish it, for that is not the case. No, say instead that I recognize the necessity of the dangerous road. The Scuttledales are perilous, true, but no more perilous than being caught out in the open by the forces of the enemy. The covered way remains hidden, and so should we.
The enemy would never expect us to take the road through the Scuttledales.
I do not know what to do, Gnarlo. I believe Raddir thought to approach Dol Guldur by the ways least likely to be watched by the forces of the enemy, but our excursion into the Drownhold. I have to believe that Raddir knew what he was doing, Gnarlo, and that he knew the risks, but still he took us into the Drownhold. He must have had a good reason. The enemy would never expect us to take the road through the Scuttledales, for that place has a dangerous reputation. That is the path of greatest secrecy, and only through the Scuttledales will we come to Dol Guldur with our prisoner and our presence unannounced. So now we need to go talk to Cuchulainn at the haunted inn upstairs, now that we've spoken with all the elves, and see what possibly might be interesting. See what possibly may the conclusion we can come up to as to which direction we go. I'm wondering if this is one of those I've got to choose which path we take. In which case, I have no memory of which path that I took with Glennorin back in the distant past. Gotta remember, this was a long time ago. What was it, 5 years ago when this came out? It's 2011? Possibly, yeah. I know 2009 was the original game. And then 2010, I think, was Moria. So, yeah, I think this came out somewhere around 2011. So, we're looking at probably 5 years ago. And so, it was 4 or 5 years ago that I went here with Glennorin. And I have no memory which one I took. Just like I had in the recent one with the Drownhold. I think it was Hamid who was asking me about not remembering the disappearing dwarves and all. And it's like, yeah, I've totally forgotten that the dwarves blinked in and out around there and you had to find the real one. I may have found the real ones the first try each time. I may have been that lucky. I don't know. But I had no memory here of... I'm like Gandalf. I have no memory of this place. That particular quest, I have no memory of having completed it and coming across the Phantom Dwarves, just as I have no memory which way I took when I talked to Cuchulainn here. How are you holding up? I am doing the best I am able, but it is not easy. I do not think this would be so difficult so quickly. What do you think is best? I do not know which way we should take, and it weighs heavily upon me. It seems to me there is no safe road, and we must be fools to travel upon any of these choices.
Ask 3 elves which way is best to take, and you will receive 3 answers, each different.
I'm glad to see he's realistic about that. Remember the famous Frodo quote from Fellowship of the Ring, the original book. It's whenever they are in the Woody Inn, they've been rescued from the Black Rider by the elves, and they're standing in the Woody Inn, and Frodo and, I can't remember the elf's name, they're sitting there around the campfire talking, and he's asking for advice. And Frodo says, it is said, do not go to the elves for advice, for they will answer both yes and no. This is as I expected, Gnarlo. Ask 3 elves which way is best to take, and you will receive 3 answers, each different. We have little time left to waste. I want you to scout these proposed roads, my accommodating burglar, and assess the dangers along each. Perhaps that will aid our decision. Seek the scouts we sent to the Scuttledales, Emyn Loom, and Tower Morvith, and question them about the dangers they have encountered. So we have got to go to Ostgalad and the Emyn Loom and talk to Enethlel. We've got to go down into Tar Morvith and talk to Erembes. And we've got to go into the Scuttledales and talk to Gladiel. So let us continue that quest and see which way we're going to go. All right, Tar Morvith, the Scuttledales, and Emyn Loom. Here's Emyn Loom, which is the central way. We just follow on up the road. The Scuttledales, of course, is this evil area up here, full of, as you can tell with scuttle, full of various spiders and webs, and think the back part of the old forest with all the spider webs and the maze of places to go. You can just look at the roads there that are marked and tell that it is not a fun place. And then Tar Morvith is down here, I guess they said among the stones and all. I'm not really sure. Looks like we've got some kind of ruins, possibly sarcophagi. So I am not sure what exactly these things are down in here. The ruined stones, as he says. I'm pretty sure there's an elven orc camps down here. Pretty sure that this area down in here, where you see with the fires and the tents, that there's some pretty heavy orc presence down in this area. And it looks like there may be an elven tent, so maybe an elven camp there. I think we're going to go to the Emmenloom first. Who do we need to talk there? Ostgaleth in the Emmenloom. I think we're going to go there first. We've already been 10 minutes into this quest. 10 minutes into this story. So let us go continue on. We'll turn our light on. There we are. And we are going to travel on down the road and see where it's possible for us to go. In fact, we are probably going to go into sneak mode here soon as well. I'm going to continue down the road since, as we've said before, this is kind of more of a travelogue episode. We're going to be going into areas that we have never traveled in before. Have I already lost the path? I think I might have. Yep, there we go. I'm already losing the path. It's bad enough this road kind of fades in and out as you go along it. But when you add in the fact that you, in this tree cover, you know, when we're in a Region, you can lose the path there too because it disappears into the weeds and stuff, but you can follow it on the map. Here, we've got a problem with the fact that you can't see through the tree canopy, so we no longer have the assistance of that to teach us which way to go. I think if you go to the right, this is the road that leads back to the Echad Sirion, and indeed it is. So we need to follow to the left and continue eastward as we head to the orc encampment in the large fortress, fortified area that they have set up. And that's good too, because I'll be able to do a little bit of... There's that gravestone again. It doesn't actually light up. I think there was a quest up there talking about the gravestone. We should have grabbed it as we came by, but no problem. Let's wind our way up this hill and then travel east again along the northern edge of the Drownholt, which lies just over to our right there. I remember we were down in there looking for the dwarves and killing the saber-toothed cougars down in that area. Mirkwood is awful foggy and spooky at night. It truly, truly is. So it's like this would be a good place to... what is that new game that's come out? Dead by Daylight? The one where they kind of asynchronous game. One of you plays the serial killer and the other four people. The other people play the survivors who are trying to get away from them. This looks like the kind of forest that would be a very good place to play a game like that in. So we continue along here. Just looking to see if there's any other landmarks or anything that I should pay attention to as we go along. And occasionally you come across stuff like that tombstone, that glowing tombstone you saw back there. You occasionally find stuff like that with rune stones by the side of the road and all that you can sometimes click on and get quests and all. Alright, that was just some leaves in the tree. It almost looked like a body hanging from one of the tree line branches over that way. Once again, very, very spooky and in Mirkwood at night. The ambient noise and the music that plays as well both add to the kind of sinister effect of the darkness and the shade under the trees here. We should be coming into sight of the fortress there, of the elven encampment very soon here. Hopefully I am still on the road and we haven't wandered off of it. There we go. Straight ahead of us here. I do believe that is where we need to come. I think this is Ostgalath. We shall know in just a minute. We should get a "you have discovered." And it's at least its name popping up on the screen here. Now entering Iminloom. There we go. Ostgalath. Very good. Let us zoom back in again. As you see, there's a old fortified area here that they have moved into and used as their current base of operations. Full moon again. We need to talk to Enethel. That looks like him right over here, doesn't it? Let's see what he has to say about the...
Is the road of the Maladthream also that of the Hidden Guard?
Let's see what he
Should
has
it
to
be?
say about the center most speedy road. So as you see, we have reached right there. That is Ostgalath in the very center of the map. You have come to Ostgalath, Gnarlo, where the Golden Host prepares for the next leg of its journey. Is it the road of the Maladrim, also the road of the Hidden Guard? Does everyone know about this damn Hidden Guard? No wonder the orcs are finding out about us. Jeez, people, do y'all know what secrecy means? I do not know if it should be, but if it must, we must learn at least what dangers lie along it. Travel east of Ostgalath and keep your eyes open for enemies on the road. As the road climbs toward Minas Gil, there are upright stones on one side of the path. Perhaps you can hide behind these stones and learn what the orc presence there may be in Iminloom. Alright, so we have to go out to the east. We're going to continue out this way and follow as it climbs to whatever they call it, Imingil. I'm assuming along in this area. I think this winding part where it comes up the hill is where those stones are, and he wants us to hide behind them. In the meantime, we'll take a look. Here's your Forge Master, your Relic Master. I am thinking that the milestone... I'm looking for the milestone. I'm looking for the Stable Master. There they are. They're back over here in this corner. So we'll click on her and get the Ostgalath one. And in fact, I am going to bind here. I'm currently on the Ekad Sirion. Is that correct? Yes. Let's go ahead and bind here. Bind. Yes. There. So we're bound here now. And when you're in Mirkwood, that's a good place. Because as you see here, this is pretty much the central location for all the various parts of southern Mirkwood that you travel into here. And we've got a horse ride over here to the Dower Stocks, to the Haunted Inn. There's a horse ride over here to the Ekad Sirion. There's a stable down here in the Drownholt. Once we find them, there'll be a stable over here in the Scuttledales here. I'm sure there's one down in Tar Morvich. I know there's one right along in here at Gathbers, because the elves have another outpost. Their most forward outpost is right here. And there may be one down here in the Ashen Glades. I am almost certain that each and every one of the various areas here have an outpost like this, or some kind of outpost, shall we say, and a stable ride to get there as well. especially in this day and age where they're adding stables and forge masters and relic masters and vendors to everything. You can even come clothes shopping if you want to. And here's your vault keeper to do your banking. And here's your mailbox over here. So as I said, this is the central hub. When they put a vault keeper in, you know you're in the main central hub. All right, we are going to call it there. Next time we come in, I'm going to try to be here in the daylight as we explore to the east and see if we can find out what orc presence may lie along this road. So I'm hoping to get that done, hopefully today, later this evening perhaps. And then it'll be another one of those hurry up and wait things until the weekend gets here. And my work week will be over with. And I can get back to playing with my Hobbit. So we will see you next time. Thanks for joining along. Thanks for commenting. And we will see you next time. Hope you've enjoyed it. Bye-bye.